Are you ready to see the coolest little squares that Woodpeckers has ever come out with? Here they are. These are the new micro squares. They have a double square and a combination square. And in this video, I'm going to give you a rundown on these two new tools and show you how everything works, what's included, and all the little details so you can decide if these are a good option for you or not. Now, this is not the first time Woodpeckers has come out with miniature style squares. They actually have had this a part of their lineup for several years now. This is their mini square, and it's made out of aluminum. Now, these new micro squares, the body and the blades are made out of stainless steel, which is pretty nice, and it adds some extra weight to the tools that I really like. Now, I did steal this scale from my kitchen, and I hope my wife does not yell at me, but she'll be okay for the sake of this video. Anyways, let's first check out how much this little mini square weighs. That comes in at 0.9 of an ounce. All right, let's check how much this double square weighs with the 1/4 inch blade installed. And that is 2.2 ounces. And then the combination square with the 1/2 inch blade installed, 2.1 ounces. So they're about twice the weight of a mini square, a little over twice the weight, which is nice. Next, let's take a closer look at the micro combination square. So you'll just see the engraving on this side. You get your Made in the USA. And then that little symbol right there actually stands for micro. It's a Greek letter. You can do some research on it if you want to. But then CSQ stands for combination square. Then on this side, you just got the Woodpeckers engraving. And next, let's look at the dimensions of the actual head. So the head is just under 1 1/8 inches long. And then as far as how thick it is, about 7/16. And then this blade, this is their 1/2 inch blade. And these blades are 3 3/8 of an inch long. Now, when you go to buy the combination square, it also comes with this secondary blade. And this blade is only a 1/4 inch wide instead of a 1/2 inch wide. It's also a little shorter. It's 3 inches long instead of 3 3/8. And changing out the blades is super simple. You just loosen this knob right here. And then it's easier to move the blade, by the way. If you just press in on this knob, it'll slide more freely. So to remove it, we'll just push up on that and take that out. I also wanted to take the time to point out that this clamping mechanism right here, it is made out of brass and not stainless steel, and they did that on purpose so that doesn't mess up your blades, because brass is softer than stainless steel, so it shouldn't affect it or scratch it or anything. But to put the 1/4 inch blade in, kind of just put it in the same way you took the other one out, and push that locking mechanism up, slide that through, and you're good to go. Now, this 1/4 inch blade, I think that you will get the most use out of this when you need to check for square in super tight spaces. One example I have here is just checking square in between dovetails. Since this blade is only a 1/4 inch wide, it fits in there just perfect. Most of the time, I will probably have this 1/2 inch wide blade installed, but I do like that they give you a smaller secondary option. Now, when you're not checking square on smaller things like dovetails or mortises, you'll definitely want to switch over to the 1/2 inch blade. Main reason being because the blade, with how skinny it is, it doesn't extend past the head. So when you go to mark square, it's kind of more difficult because the head kind of gets in the way. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the 1/2" blade real quick. And now that I have the 1/2" blade installed, you can see how the blade extends past the body, which makes it a lot easier to mark square. So obviously with a combination square, you can mark square, or you can mark 45 degrees by flipping it around like that. This little combination square is also great to use with a marking knife, since the blade on the square and the blade on the marking knife are both made out of stainless steel. You're not going to wear away at this blade. Whereas if you were using an aluminum square and a stainless steel blade, over time your stainless steel blade on your marking knife would wear down on your square. But it's not the case with this one. Now before we move on to looking at the double square, I first wanted to show you guys just how accurate this square reads for square and for 45 degrees. And to test that, we're going to use one of the best, like the best square that Woodpeckers makes for checking that. And this is their Dead Nut Square. Now this is quite possibly the most accurate square you can get from Woodpeckers. They machine this using EDM technology, which stands for electrical discharge machining. And so how they make this is the wire EDM erodes away the metal at a micron level, which they say results in incredible precision and quality. And so I love this thing. I use this to set my table saw blade for square and 45, and this is just the ultimate reference. So anyways, let's go ahead and check 45 on this. So I'm going to set that there. It's got that nice beveled edge, so you can really check for square or 45. And it is perfect. Beautiful. So next, let's extend it out to the other end and check for square. All right, we'll reference it against the flat base there and slide that down on that beveled edge. And it is also absolutely perfect. So that's great. You got a perfect reference for square and 45 with this micro combination square. Next, let's check out the double square, and we'll just start by going over the dimensions like we did last time. So here is the double square, and on this one you just have this engraving on one side, and then the other side is blank. And so the head on this is a little bit longer. It comes in at a little bit over 1 7/8 inches. And then as far as thickness goes, we're a little thinner, about 3/8 instead of 7/16 like the other one. And then for height, we're at about 5/8 of an inch tall. And so with the double square, just like the combination square, you get a 1/2 inch wide blade that's 3 3/8 of an inch long, and a 1/4 inch blade that is 3 inches long. And the process for switching out the blades is exactly the same as the combination square. Just loosen that knob right there. You can slide it out and then pop in this other blade. Now, the reason this is called a double square is because you can check for square no matter which side of the head that you reference against your workpiece. So you can use this side and check, or you can flip it around and use the other side. Another way I also like to use this square is to extend the blade so the end is flush with the head. Tighten that up. And then you can go ahead and also check inside corners on small boxes like that. And you can see that the double square is just as accurate and reliable as the combination square. And we'll go ahead and prove that again by testing it against this dead nut square. So I have the double square fully extended. Put it against the flat side there. Come down. And there's no visible gap. It is perfect. But let's go ahead and check the other side. So we'll slide it all the way down, flush against the bottom, tighten that up, and we'll check this side. And you can see that is also perfect. So no matter which square you decide to go with, or if you get them both, they are extremely reliable. Now you can get these squares individually, but if you buy them together, you can save some money. If you were to only get one of these squares, I would say definitely go with the combination square, since you can, do 90 and 45, and with the double square, you can only do square. Also, remember that included with each of these squares is a smaller blade that's only 1/4 inch wide and 3 inches long instead of 3 3/8. Now I do have another surprise. There's actually 2 other options, and they're made by Blue Spruce. They're the exact same tool, literally just different engraving. So if you're watching this and you're a Blue Spruce fan instead of a Woodpeckers fan, you can head over to their website and get the same exact square that I just showed you in this video. And one other thing, Woodpeckers or Blue Spruce, whichever one you get it from, both of them include a wall-mountable racket for each square. And I like that this racket has a slot on the top where you can store whichever blade you're not using, so that way you won't lose it or misplace it. This racket on the left is where you can store your combination square, and then this one on the right is where you can store your double square. If you're interested in picking up the micro square either from Woodpeckers or Blue Spruce, I'll leave some links down in the description below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out some of these other videos.